Hello again everyone, and welcome if you're new. It's Hayley here at Raising Blooms. It is a glorious sunshiny day here in North Kent in the UK. It's Saturday morning and it's just lovely to be planning some gardening jobs this weekend. We've had over a week of just rain and miserable weather really. It's been colder, the temperature's dropped. For June, it's been quite chilly. So I've not really got out and done an awful lot of gardening jobs. I haven't been able to really, you know, trying to snatch time in between the rain, pulling the odd weed. The garden definitely needs weeding, that does need my attention. But this weekend I think I'm going to be focusing on my new allotment plot. I don't know if I'll be showing that in today's vlog, but I've been collecting cardboard all week. Scavenging cardboard all week, asking people if they've got any cardboard they're throwing away, and I've been filling up my car and now my garage is completely full. My plan is to bring that over to the allotment today and just kind of map out where I'm going to put my raised beds. I'm going to be doing no dig beds, so it's ideal really to start off with the cardboard first, and then I can also plan out where I'm going to be putting my beds. But yeah, that's a job for today. That will be what my plan is. I think I'll be absorbed down at the allotment for most of this weekend. But coming up in today's vlog, I will be doing a June seed sow along with you all. In last week's vlog, I did mention to you what seeds I'm planning on sowing in June. So I am going to be getting those sown. I will be putting on some pumpkins, which I do plan on growing on the new allotment. Hopefully, if I can get a bed prepared at least for my pumpkins, I'll be really happy to put those in the new allotment and have something growing, a little pumpkin patch. I'm also going to do a little walk around the garden and tell you guys which are my favourite self-seeders that I grow. I will also be potting on my tomatoes. They are temporary homes for them really. I do need to decide what to do with them. I have transplanted some into my greenhouse as well as my watermelons. I'll give you an update on my watermelons. Yeah, I'm hoping I get some watermelons. I have tried for the last couple of years to grow watermelons. I don't know whether I start them off a bit too late and then I don't give them a long enough growing season possibly. But yeah, I've got 3 little watermelon plants in my greenhouse and some tomatoes. I do plan on growing some tomatoes here in the kitchen garden, but the others I'm going to have to find homes for. I've given some away because I don't know if you guys do the same, but I just always oversow tomato plants and then end up with far too many, much more than what we need. So yeah, that's my dilemma with my tomatoes. How are you guys getting on? Have you grown tomatoes this year yourselves? Are you in abundance with them like I am? Are you trying to give them away? Yeah, and where are you growing yours? Are you growing yours in containers or in the ground, in your garden, at the allotment? Let me know. Like I say, I've got so many that I need to find homes for. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed last week's vlog when we went to the open garden scheme. That was a really rainy weekend, but it was just such a beautiful garden. I was so happy that we got along to it. I'm so glad that despite the rain, we made the effort to go, and so many other people did as well. So they raised some money for charity, which is what the whole idea is about. There are other open gardens as well coming up, some dates that I've put in the diary, so I will probably bring you along to see those as well. It's really good to get some inspiration. I love seeing the combination of the formal gardens and the cottage style gardens, and of course all the roses. Seeing the beautiful David Austin Boscobel roses last week has really made me want them. I really want Boscobel. Have any of you got that variety of rose? I have got it on the top of my list, my wish list, but where would I put it? I don't know, but it is a gorgeous rose. It smells so divine. The colour, the kind of coral, yeah, it's like a coral colour. Beautiful, absolutely gorgeous rose. So that is definitely on my wish list. Something else I do want to grow, which I haven't actually sown yet and I haven't even got the seeds for. I do have marigold seeds, but I've got the small, you know, the short variety. I really want the African hot stuff, they're called African hot stuff marigolds, and they're about 75 centimetres, so like the tallest variety of marigolds. And you can still sow them now as well in June, and I do plan to get hold of some seeds because they will flower all the way through till the first frosts, and they'll bring a little splash of autumn colour in the garden. So yes, I am going to try and get hold of some of those. My rose hedge in the front garden is doing so well. That just makes me smile. It's got lots of beautiful roses beginning to bloom on there. It has started to kind of bloom in two different stages. So one half has got roses that are blooming, and the other half has still just got buds. But I guess that's a positive, because when one half fades, the other half will be in flower. So I'll always have roses, but I just think it would be more impactful if they were all blooming at the same time. Perhaps because it's just the first year that they're growing. It will be like that maybe next year when they get stronger and taller, and maybe they'll all kind of be in sync. They'll talk to each other and decide to bloom at the same time. That'll be good. That's the idea. That's what I had in my mind. My hydrangea hedge at the front is also looking beautiful. I'm excited for that. I will show you an update on how things are going on at the front garden. I might also put in some footage of some bits and bobs we got up to last weekend. We went along to a little car show for my sons. That was lovely. Lots of vintage cars, classic cars, supercars. Yeah, that was a fun little afternoon. And then after there, we headed on to a little farm that we live close to. We're lucky enough to live really close to one of the UK's largest lavender farms. It's one of my favourite spots to just go to, hang out at, do a little bit of shopping. They do so many different things all throughout the seasons. You can pick your own sunflowers. They obviously specialise in lavender, so that's their thing, and you get to do lavender picnics, lavender walks. They sell everything lavender related: soaps, oils, coffee, ice cream, gin. Yeah, that is just an amazing place. They have cattle, they've got a little coffee barn. What else can you do? We picked our own sunflowers there. Oh, apples. They've got a gorgeous apple orchard as well. You can pick your own apples in the autumn. It's just something, you can always do something there. And we popped after the car show, we popped there as well to, they had an open day showing you what they grow, how they harvest it. It's not just lavender, they obviously grow other things as well. We went on a little tractor ride, so it was just a really fun little family afternoon, and I'll just show you some clips of that day as well, because it was, too good not to share. I think that's enough from me waffling on. Come along with me and let's get sowing some seeds. So I'm just over here now with my pumpkin plants. These are my Uchikikuri. As you can see, I've left them in their pots a little bit too long, since I have sown, I think, 3 in each pot. So they are desperate to come out. This one, for some reason, had 2 pots. Don't know how I managed to do that. But anyway, I shall separate these now and put them into 3 individual pots. I'm just putting them on for the moment, but they will be going in the ground soon, hopefully. I do plan on sorting out a pumpkin patch down at my new allotment. I think that will be the first bed that I create. This next pumpkin variety are my jack-o'-lanterns. So I have sown 6 of these, 3 in each of these 2 pots, in the hopes that each of my family members has a pumpkin to carve this Halloween. We do have a bit of a tradition to go along and go to the pumpkin patch and pick a pumpkin each anyway, but I think it would be good fun to grow our own carving pumpkins as well this year at the allotment, or at least give it a go and see how we get on. And here I am now with my little punnet of compost, about to sow my first seeds, and these are the Gypsophilia Covent Garden, which are an annual variety and can be sown now, which will still mean they will flower this year as well. So if you're going to be sowing the perennial variety, you won't get flowers this year, but the annual variety, if you sow them now, you should still get flowers this year. So I'm just spreading them thinly over the top of the compost. They're so tiny and you can't really see them well at all. So as usual, I'm probably putting far too many in, but I will thin them out and of course pot them on. But I guess the more the merrier, and it gives more chance of germination that way, hey? And now I'm just going to cover them over lightly with some compost, and I will do a label for them because I will never remember what is in each punnet otherwise, and I am quite good at forgetting to label them, but I definitely won't this time. And at the end I shall give them all a spray with water. Next up we have zinnias, and I'm pretty sure I said to you, I'm sure I sowed zinnias already this year, but I certainly do not have any zinnia plants, so let's give it another go. Again, if I sow these now, I should get flowers this year. Moving on now to our next pot of compost, and I will be sowing some calendula in here. Here we are now about to sow some Majors. It's one of my favourites, very pretty, very tall, white flowers, a bit like cow parsley or Queen Anne's lace, if you know it as that name, that grow, in the countryside, along paths, out in the wild. So it's not the same, but very similar.
give everything we've sown a little spray of water. It's quite good to give them a spray like this because obviously the seeds are so small and delicate, and this is quite a gentle way to give them some moisture. Out in my kitchen garden now on my potting bench, it is time to transplant my tomatoes. I did explain to you that this is not going to be their permanent homes. I just need to get them out of these tiny pots. And if you thought that was a lot of tomatoes, guys, there's still this many because I ran out of compost, so I have to come back and put those ones on later. Here they all are now, ready to have a good drink. I did put some tomato feed into this watering can. Hopefully that will set them off with a good start. So I thought I would do a little video of my favourite self-seeders in the garden. I'm going to start off here at this Honesty. If you've been watching my channel, you know I love Honesty, and this stuff has sown itself everywhere in my garden. It is absolutely beautiful, and my favourite part of it are the seed heads that dry a beautiful pearly transparent colour, and they are gorgeous in flower arrangements. My next favourite is toad flax. It's a wild flower, really, but it does very well in my garden. I think it's beautiful. It just adds a splash of colour wherever it decides to grow, and it's always a surprise because it's always somewhere new each year. My next favourite self-seeder is Hydrangea. This is just such a cheerful, pretty little flower with daisy-like blooms, and honestly, it grows in the most surprising places. It can be a crack in a paver or thriving in a border. It just seems to be happy wherever it goes. My next favourite is Nigella. It's so unique, isn't it? Such an unusual looking flower, and the seed pods are beautiful too. Quite structural in the garden, and such a beautiful vibrant blue colour, and these guys just pop up wherever they please, and I love them. How could I not mention forget-me-nots? So pretty. The tiny, tiny blue flowers. And once you've got forget-me-nots in your garden, you'll always have them. And they're so cheerful. My next favourite self-seeder are oxeye daisies. I love oxeye daisies. They're such a beautiful tall flower, and they're wafty, great in flower arrangements, and they just seem to multiply every year. Foxgloves. These guys are amazing. I have them dotted all around the garden, and once the flowers drop off and the seed pods are mature, you can just give them a shake anywhere you like, and you'll have more foxgloves next year. Verbena bonariensis. I have this in lots of clumps all around the garden, and it does find its way everywhere. Cosmos is another self-seeder which I love in the garden. You can never have too much cosmos. Rose campion. I think these flowers are absolutely stunning with their silvery blue foliage and bright purple blooms. These flowers just bloom for such a long period of time if you keep deadheading them, and once you've got them in the garden, you will always have them. Lastly, nasturtiums. Not only are they edible, but they're so cheerful, they spread everywhere and add a splash of colour to all of your borders. I just had to take you out in the front garden and show you my hydrangea hedge. Annabelle is looking stunning. And here is my Queen Elizabeth rose hedge that I was working on. And as you can see, so many buds waiting to bloom, and I have the salvia in between. And look, my very first pond lily. Oh, I was so excited. My watermelons, they've not done a lot since I put them in here, but hopefully they will have a growth spurt. And here are my tomatoes that I put in the greenhouse. They'll need a bit of staking, but let's wish them well and hope they grow us many juicy tomatoes. Here are a few snippets from the car show that we went to over the weekend. It was just such a lovely atmosphere and the boys had a great time. And then of course here we are at the farm waiting for our tractor ride, which was so much fun. Here are some photos of the farm vehicles all lined up, and of course the lovely cattle And here are the lavender fields waiting to turn purple. We were told that they're quite a late start this year because of the strange weather, but they are beginning to turn purple. If you are still here at the end of this vlog, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and you will get notified when I post up new videos. It's been a pleasure and I shall see you in the next one.